Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know your boy Ali's gonna be super excited because I have a superstar in the actual studio. Welcome to the Emmy Show, and I am your host with the avocado toast. And today, I got a superstar. I got an incredible, a genius, a philanthropist, an author, John C. Maxwell trainer, multiple books. I think about 20 books that have been published, courses, anthology, journals, planners. All right, let me stop because I will literally be doing an introduction for about an hour or so. And this young woman is the definition of resilience. She's the definition of authenticity. She's the definition of keeping it real, saying it for what it is. And she is everything to a lot of people. She's a mom, she's a sister, she's a daughter, she's a teacher, she's a mentor, she's you name it, you're going to find it. But today I wanted to do everything in my power to get as many information, knowledge, and nuggets and a little bit of inspiration for those of you who need to hear this message for the very first time and certainly not the last. Dr. Obiama Martin in the building, ladies and gentlemen. A whole lot of love. Let's go. And don't touch your phone if you're driving. Dr. O, as the world knows you. Thank you so much for giving me this exclusive. I'm super excited.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm about to get all into it and get a whole lot. So first things first, that everybody's probably going to have a lot of questions about: how in the world do I go from 0 to 20 books? Was there a switch? Was there a mentor? Or was it just, you know what, Ali? I just one day at a time until I ended up here. Give us a little bit of a context.
Yeah, so definitely one day at a time. I want to say, though, probably around 2015. So I've always known that I was going to write a book. I've
Mm.
always known, I've always
A book or
known
books?
that. No, well, as a teenager,
Yeah, I
I
got
knew
it.
that I was going to write at least one book
Yeah.
because I felt like my story had to be shared. It
Mm.
had to be told. Definitely. And I just felt like, you know what? Maybe I'm not alone. Maybe I am. I'm not sure, but my story is worth telling.
But beautiful. And I like that we're starting in that aspect because there's a lot of people who have a story, but they don't feel the worth to get to tell it. Healing is a driving force in everything that you have created. And we're going to talk about breathe and we're going to talk about so many different elements. But
Mhm.
real quick, healing, what does it mean and why is it important in order to do anything great in life? Because a lot of us ignore healing and we think, I'm tough. I can water it. I can keep going. I can move through it. But unless you stop and heal, don't expect greatness to happen.
Oh,
Am I wrong?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So telling my story is what has helped me to heal. That's number one. So I started out with writing. I started out with being a part of an anthology probably around 2013, 2014, somewhere around it, because I wasn't confident in my story.
Mm.
So I started out in an anthology with maybe about 30 or 40 other women, and it was more of a how to, more so than it was a biography or anything personal
Yeah.
about me. Actually, it was specifically about the female leader. That was the first book that I had, inserted some of my knowledge and my expertise in. And so I was kind of just putting my feet in the water to get comfortable with the writing process because I had to first believe that I could write. So that's number one. That is a part of my breathe framework. The B is for belief.
Got it.
So I had to first get up the confidence to believe that what I had to say was worth reading. And some of you may be feeling like, well, my story isn't good enough, or I really don't have nothing to say. Because that's exactly where I was for many years. I felt like I don't have nothing to say. No one is going to listen to me. And so participating in the anthology gave me the confidence to, you know what, I can do this. And
Mm.
so then after the anthology, I then self-published my first book slash journal called I Am Me, which stood for implementation, manifestation, and elevation. And that was kind of a done for you or how to of how do you get started with implementing things in your life, whether it's personal or business? And then how do you go from implementation to manifestation? And another word for that is execution, right? And so then how do you go from the manifestation of the thing that you just implemented to elevating the manifestation of what you just implemented, right? So then I did that and that sold, and I was like, I can do this. So then I graduated. I did a few more anthologies that were more of the how to, nothing personal. But in 2018, when I wrote my first book, kind of a little bit of a tell all, and I want to be honest with you guys, because when it's personal, it takes a longer time. You know, it's
Oh,
easy to
I know
put
what you mean. Yeah.
something on paper when you are telling somebody how to do something, but when you are talking about you and you include all your drama and trauma and all of the things, that's a longer
You're going over that
process.
thing repeatedly. Yeah. Yeah.
Repeatedly. And so I invested in an editor, and you guys, it took me a year to write the first chapter. There's only 7 chapters in this book. It took me 1 year to write the first chapter because I cried. That every time I met with the editor, I cried because it was so painful.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have an idea. I'm writing an autobiography that includes my whole family because of the trauma that we've overcome. And I had the genius idea. Let me go to all my family members and say, hey, I need your side of the story. And it's almost as if I said, you guys want to fight?
That part.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, do I really want to do this? And it was everything that I knew I had to do because in some genius way, I guess, God is so good that it kind of brought everybody together,
Okay.
in the middle of the craziness. But they're still not out yet because they're still fighting about, that's not true. All right. But I love it. I love it.
Yes. So once I got through the first year, the first chapter, the rest of the chapters became a lot easier
Yeah.
to write about. And believe it or not, the first chapter, a lot of it was about the genesis of who I am, which starts with my name and just,
And everything that came with it.
right.
Yeah.
But so many people, I was teased, I was bullied as a child. So I didn't embrace my name. I didn't accept my name. So I didn't really own Obioma until I had my first job where I had to pay taxes, and it was like, okay, now you can put some respect on it because I'm getting paid. But before that, I had alias because people called me everything but my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went through this identity crisis. So sharing my story helped me to heal. That's where my healing journey started.
Yeah. I love that. It's about, you said something that's so powerful that hit me personally, about embracing, many may know I talk about my vitiligo, right? So TikTok showed me a whole lot of love. And by love, I mean, there's always, trollers, right? And there's always one person is like, what's up with his lips or what's up? And I love to, I'm like, I almost look forward to it now. I'm like, it's called God's makeup, baby.
Right.
God took care of it already. But I used to do on average 50 to 100 speaking gigs. And I kid you not, doctor, it could be an hour to an hour and a half speaking gig, right? I will keep my hand in my pocket. Imagine on stage, we tend to express ourselves. I am walking around for an hour and a half with my hands in my pocket because I don't want somebody to take away from my value while I'm like, they're going to look at my fingers, they're going to look at my hands. And all of a sudden I realized one day, don't nobody care about you. They're paying attention, taking notes. And I'm like, okay, this is going good. So I had to heal about the way I saw myself. So thank you for highlighting that.
Hi, I'm Dr. Obiama Martin. As women CEOs, we carry more than just titles. We carry faith, responsibility, and the weight of leading at the highest level. But too often, I hear stories of women feeling unseen, unsafe, or forced to hide parts of who they are just to fit in. And that is why I created the Global Breathe Lounge, a sacred, faith-based space designed exclusively for 24 women leaders. Every month, we get together as a circle of trust. 3 women from each industry, carefully matched, so you're connected with the right peers, not the wrong people. This is not just networking. This is a sanctuary, a space where women of faith can breathe deeply and stand in their power and lead without apology. A place where you are never preyed upon, but always poured into. This Global Breathe CEO Lounge is about authenticity, connection, and kingdom leadership. It's about creating a safe seat at the table where you can exhale, share openly, and be celebrated for exactly who you are. If you're ready to claim your seat in this sacred space, visit obioma.org today. The Global Breathe CEO Lounge, where faith meets leadership and where women CEO rise together.
All right, I got some things that I want to. You have founded Omaze in You, Omax Institute, Omaze in You Publishing, Omar Women Supporting Women. You've written 20 books. You've done incredible, amazing things at the same time, traveling the world at the same time, being a mom, and at the same time just doing it all. What is the secret sauce? Because there's somebody in there like, I can barely get the kids off the bus and have dinner ready on time. How do you want me to become the great that I'm intended to be?
Yeah. So here's what's true, because a lot of people look at my life and they think, "Girl, you are doing it," but you don't know the struggle, right? You don't know the late nights and the early mornings.
Yeah.
So in order to do what I do now, you have to do what I did.
Mm.
Right. And so first of all, let me just say this for those that are listening and don't know me. I was married for 18 years and I've been divorced for 6, almost 7 years. He actually passed away
Sorry.
in November of last year. And so we were in business together, right, for 16 years. And so when we departed, a part of me departed as well. And I didn't know who I was because my identity was tied to my marriage, right? And it was tied to who I was as his partner in business and in life,
Sometimes it's hard to let go.
right? It was very hard to let go. I was devastated. I was definitely devastated. And so my journey, because a lot of people say, "Oh, you're so free." I just got free.
That's the healing part.
Yeah, yeah. I just got free. So the woman that you see today, the businesswoman, the entrepreneur, the author that you see today is because I made a decision to heal. I made a decision to live my best life. And I made a decision to really focus on God being my source and not man. I really decided to focus on performing for an audience of one and not man. And so, what that looks like is me detaching from negative people, places, and things, trying to check a box or to be validated when validation is for parking and it's not for people. Instead of trying to wait for somebody to approve me, realizing I was approved before the foundation of the world, before I was even thought of, God approved me, right? So getting to that place of just knowing who I am and whose I am was a journey in and of itself. And now that I'm here, I get to live in this freedom and then this peace because I trust, I'm rock solid, anchored in the fact that God is my source.
Let me put a pause on that one. I feel like I need to go on commercial break because that hit me hard. Wow. Yeah, that was good. Okay, so your personal story is fascinating, and there are multitudes of documentations about it from your books, from videos, interviews, and different things. Do you find yourself having to heal every single day, in the lack of better words? Like, do you wake up? Because I know for me, I've done a year and a half of therapy because of my own trauma. And in one thing, everybody asks, I'm like, did you get fixed? I'm like, I was never broken. It's just I did not know how to cope with certain
Yes.
things. And now every single day, I have a system or my own method, if you will, to address my trauma and know how to be the best version of myself. I know that in your book, Breathe, you address that. But from you to your books to the audience, does it go away? Does the healing have to be a process every single day? Help us out.
I love this question, right? I love this question because every day you have to choose alignment over attachment.
Mm.
Every day you have to choose to be focused over frustration. Every day you have to choose faith over fear. Like every single day you have to choose to be in a place where you get to control the environment. Like you are the weather maker. So you get to choose 70 degrees and sunny as your climate, as your temperature, versus allowing somebody else to pull you into their tsunami.
That's powerful. Wow. I feel like we need to take notes and there's a lot of t-shirts coming out with all these captions. Like, Dr. O said, there's a somewhat of a struggle of an internal relationship for most people who want to overcome and feel empowered. It's almost as if there are people who are revengeful with their own, like, last year was the worst year. I'm going to come back stronger, ever and better. And they go from one extreme to the opposite extreme, almost like burning everything for the sake of what they think is what I'm supposed to say. How do you define the balance and not relapsing into your own emotions? Because I know I was that guy. I mean,
I was that girl. So I used to go from 0 to 100 all the time. And what that looked like is people perceiving me as being abrasive, harsh, never rude, but unapproachable, mean,
cold,
detached, heartless, right? All of those things. And it was just because I was responding from my trauma.
Yeah.
Right. And so hurt people, but healed people, heal people. And I just made a decision. I no longer wanted to hurt. I no longer wanted to be hurt. And I no longer wanted to be in a place where I am consistently responding from my trauma. Like I want to be a healthy, whole individual. And so every day I have to choose healthy conversations. Like the reframe, even the conversations on the inside, even the thoughts and the conversations you have on the inside, we get to choose. You have to choose. No, I'm not that. This is what I am, right? Because the conversation starts with you before it starts with someone else.
Yeah.
And what happens is when we don't become congruent with ourselves, when we don't reconcile that negative self-sabotaging chatter on the inside, when someone else says it, we then affirm it, we co-sign on it, and we agree with it. And then we repeat what they said as if they're the authority. No, what did God say? God said that you're healed. God said that you're redeemed. God said that you are renewed. God said that you are covered, washed, and sealed in his blood. He said you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So when you understand that healing is possible, when you understand that forgiveness is possible, when you understand that there's absolutely nothing that you cannot achieve because you're not relying on your own strength. You are relying on a strength that is stronger than yours and higher than yours. And so you get to take the pressure of performance off of yourself and lean into his rest. Lean into his provision, lean into his protection, lean in, because when he gives you vision, he also gives you provision. So you don't have to try to figure it out. All you have to do is say yes. Yes to his will, yes to his way, yes to his agenda. And that is why I am able to do all the things, because I'm not doing it in and of myself. I'm doing it with him.
Yeah. It's a co-creation process.
It's a co-creation process that I'm saying, here I am, Lord, use me.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dr. Obiama Martin, and I want to invite you to something truly amazing, the Believe Bigger 8-week group coaching program. I created this program for women who may not necessarily have the resources to work with me individually in executive coaching. However, you still deserve a space to grow, learn, and scale together. And this is why I created this space for us to come together for 8 weeks. We meet once a week online, and in that time, we focus on mindset mastery, discovering your purpose, stepping into your power, and showing up with presence as women leaders, CEOs, and mothers. The truth is, no matter your industry, we all face challenges that can feel isolating. But when we come together, we realize we're not alone. And it becomes crystal clear that it is okay to dream bigger and to believe bigger and to do it in a community that truly sees you. If you're ready to step into a space where your growth is nurtured and your journey is celebrated, join us today. Visit obioma.org and let's believe bigger together.
What do you see many who may say, but Dr. O, I'm in church, I'm in every Bible study, I like going like God,
That's the
but
problem, though.
yeah, please.
That's the problem. It's not. I was just having this conversation with my mom yesterday because my mom. We were having a conversation. Me, my mom, and her husband, and he's a Bible scholar, and she just kind of goes along and she's like, well, I'm not a reader. That's for everybody else. If I trust a person, I listen to what they say. And I said, Mom, you can't do that. That is the problem with Christians today. They believe whatever, whosoever, because they're behind a pulpit or they got a title, as if what they're saying is bond, is word, is the truth. And it's not. You know why? Because we're imperfect and we're infallible, and we will interpret a thing as if God said it. And so too oftentimes people are saying things across the pulpit that God didn't say. It is their own interpretation. So you have to get into a relationship with your Heavenly Father where you're taking time and being intentional about spending time in His Word so that you can say, okay, no, this is what God said. I know what you said, and that's your perspective, but God said this. God didn't say that, but you won't know that if you're not spending time. And so that only comes with you spending time. And so if you listen to me and you're saying, yeah, I can't read the Bible because it got all those thus and thous, I was you, which is the reason why I created all of those journals to help individuals get to a place where they can connect with God. And so I take you through this self-guided process where I'm like, this is what the scripture says. Now ask yourself, what is God saying to you? And what was the context? What was going on geographically? What was happening during that time?
Mhm.
Why did the author say this? So I allow you to just take one scripture, one bite at a time, instead of trying to eat the pie whole. No, that's not how you read the Bible. That's not what intimacy is. Intimacy is about one conversation, one at a time, and getting naked before God, because He already know who you are. Like Adam and Eve was in the garden, and God was like, "Why you naked? Why you naked? Like, not why you naked. Why are you covered? Because they covered themselves, right? And God is like, who told you you was naked? Who told you you was naked? Like, who told you you was broken?
Mm-hmm.
Who told you you was imperfect? Who told you that? So it's about getting to the place where we can say, you know what? I know what I did, but I'm not what I did. I know what I did, but I'm not what I did.
Telling you, t-shirt alert.
Yeah.
That is deep.
I know what I did, but I'm not what I did.
Yeah.
And that just speaks to the redemption power of who God is, meaning that once you lay it on the altar and you say, you know what, I forgive me, God, I'm asking for your forgiveness. And then you pivot from that behavior, from that characteristic, from whatever that was. And you say, you know what, God, I just want to be right. Give yourself grace to walk that journey of correction, walk that journey of discipline. So for me, I'm up at 3 a.m. in the morning, every morning, consistently, because that's the time that God wakes me up to commune with Him, to spend time with Him, to get in the Word. And so the key for me is the intimacy that I have with God. And when I miss a morning, when I miss my set time, you don't want to be around me. Because I am not the person that you see right here. Oh, I'm human, but let me tell you, my disposition is not welcoming.
Yeah.
Right? Because I didn't get my time with my Heavenly Father. And so I'm irritated, I'm irritable, I might come off nasty and abrasive, and so for me, it doesn't feel good. So I make sure that I am
taking care of me. My batteries need to be charged.
It has
in order.
to be.
Yeah,
It has to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's powerful. When it comes to tools, resources, you have a lot. that is out there, what would you say for a person who's about to take step number one into their healing, into where they need to be? What is the most recommended tool, book, course, retreat? I know I've mentioned them all, but what would you say? Hey, here's your step number one. Here's what I would recommend for you to do.
Absolutely. So it depends on who you are. And I say that from this perspective. If you are an entrepreneur, then you would want to invest in coaching with me. So that's number one, because entrepreneurs, we're productive.
Yeah.
We're profitable and productive. I don't like saying busy because you could be busy and broke. No, we're profitable and productive. And so because of that, you may need some one-on-one time. And so you want to enter into a executive coaching relationship with me. Now, if you are like, well, I prefer to do things in a group, then you can
The retreat.
you can do the retreat,
Yeah.
or you can do my 8-week Believe Bigger coaching program. Now, I love the 8-week Believe Bigger because it's all about community, and you get to be amongst other individuals. It's a small group, no more than 10. I do things in small
Intentionally, you
groups.
keep it
Intentionally,
small.
I
Okay,
keep
okay.
it small because you can get lost in the
Yeah, that's
bigness.
true.
You can get lost in
You
the
can't get
bigness.
to everybody, and
You
somebody
can't get
misses
to
out.
everybody.
Yeah.
And for me, it's never a money grab. So I don't do anything, as a money grab, because this is your life and I'm responsible.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
someone invests in coaching with me, when someone invests in a book, I take it personally because this is your life.
Absolutely.
So depending on where you are, if you're not an entrepreneur, maybe you're a single mom, maybe you're a teenager, maybe you are a married woman, maybe you're in a situation where you can't really invest a lot. I would definitely invite you to, start with the Breathe book, start with the Breathe journal, start right there, because that's the low hanging fruit. You can get a book or a journal for $30. And that's a good place to start. And then you can follow me on YouTube or on social media and listen to some of the content that I have that's free.
Yeah. And don't forget, if you just look in the description right now as we speak, if you're driving, don't touch that phone. I can see you right here now. Don't touch the phone. Once you park, once you're home, in the description, we put all of those links for you. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and every single website and everything, including the Calendly link if you need to schedule something with Dr. Obiama Martin. Last but not least, Omart. I know we've done a lot of work today and it came up multiple times. See that smile? Did you catch that smile? That's the only time that's organic smile. Everything else is like passionate and happy. And then I say, Omar, like smiles. Okay, where does Omar fit into everything we talked about in this episode? And what would you like to share with the young ladies out there?
So Omar is the philanthropy arm of what I do, and it's my give back.
Yeah.
Because everyone is not financially in a position to coach with me. Everyone is not in a financial position to attend a retreat or a business mastermind. But Omar Women Supporting Women allow me to meet you exactly where you are.
I love that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been extremely privileged to witness her greatness for the last couple of hours. And I mean, I saw her bloopers. I saw her before her hot cocoa. I saw her in her personal setting. I got the privileged inside scoop. But please make sure that you get involved. I was told a long time ago, doing nothing is the worst thing you can do is doing nothing at all. So follow the social media accounts, subscribe to the channel. There's long form videos that are there for you. So even that person was like, but you don't understand, I don't have money. You heard from her own mouth. She says there's free content out there that can just give you a little bit of that one nugget that you need during the day. But if you are ready, don't hoard. I tell individuals that I've worked with in the past, oh yeah, I use this software, it's free. When I use that app, it's free. I'm like, well, you think it's free until you realize you're actually giving up $1,000 because you're doing $5 an hour jobs, while you should be giving somebody else, right? So don't rob yourself. There's as little as $30 journals that you can get involved with. The retreat for entrepreneurs. I mean, go to omazeu.com. That's the website that is right behind us. And make sure you get your copy of Breathe. Make sure you get into the courses anywhere, anyhow, somehow. But I'm telling you, this young lady has been traveling the world, impacting people all over. And this episode, wherever you may be listening to it or watching it, obviously is on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon, Apple Podcasts for a reason. She is incredible. She is phenomenal. And she has definitely put a lot of impact on me today, where I have to sometimes catch myself like, wait, we're on camera, like focus. I'm like, that was powerful. That was powerful. And I'm very, very grateful. So as we're coming to an end, your final remark from the I'm already making $1 million. How can you excel me and take me to the next level to I don't know where to begin? Your message.
Oh, absolutely. But first, what I love about that is literally I take individuals from GED to PhD.
Let's go.
That's number one. I take individuals from being the renter to the rentee, right? I take individuals from being with having no business to the $1 million mark.
Yeah.
And so I love that, because that really, I've helped to date over 20,000 women
Thank you, God.
along that journey. And so wherever you are, you have to start. And it starts with you making a decision to invest in you at the level in which you want to see results. So it really doesn't matter whether you have a GED, PhD, or $1 million or no dollars. You have to make a decision to invest in yourself at the level in which you want to see results. So whatever that is for you, if you want to change where you are and you want to do more, be more, achieve more, have more, it starts with your decision to invest in you starting now.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, go to omazeinyu.com. My name is Ali Mehdaoui. She goes by Dr. Obiama Martin. This has been an exclusive and a special for the ME show. Until next time, have a blessed day, everybody.
Hi, I'm Dr. Obiama Martin. As women CEOs, we carry more than just titles. We carry faith, responsibility, and the weight of leading at the highest level. But too often, I hear stories of women feeling unseen, unsafe, or forced to hide parts of who they are just to fit in. And that is why I created the Global Breathe Lounge, a sacred, faith-based space designed exclusively for 24 women leaders. Every month, we get together as a circle of trust. 3 women from each industry, carefully matched, so you're connected with the right peers, not the wrong people. This is not just networking. This is a sanctuary, a space where women of faith can breathe deeply and stand in their power and lead without apology. A place where you are never preyed upon, but always poured into. This Global Breathe CEO Lounge is about authenticity, connection, and kingdom leadership. It's about creating a safe seat at the table where you can exhale, share openly, and be celebrated for exactly who you are. If you're ready to claim your seat in this sacred space, visit obioma.org today. The Global Breathe CEO Lounge, where faith meets leadership and where women CEO rise together.